Hey, so what's up guys? It's Mac from Cryptstar, and today I'm doing a walk through Tokyo. You know, give me some ice cream. Really excited to be out here in the sunshine. Tokyo has had some rainy days recently, so it is a great opportunity to go ahead and relieve some of that stress from being stuck inside of the corona and relaxing outdoors. I have a friend behind me who is trying to photobomb me, but it's all good. So I wanted to go ahead and show you guys around my neighborhood. I know I'm always talking about crypto and everything, but you know, life isn't all about crypto. You gotta enjoy the scenery, you gotta enjoy the day. So this is my area in Tokyo. It's called Azabajiban. It's pretty close to Tokyo Station. You can see it's very nice, very clean now. The streets are super clean. They have a really fancy convenience store. It's called Natural Lawson. It's like Lawson, but it's all natural. It's like things are really clean nowadays. It's not always this clean because Corona, not many people are heading out, and there's not as much drinking on the streets. So usually, you know, people drinking on the streets ends up making things a little bit dirty. Sometimes I come to this tree here. You can see there are some oranges up there. So sometimes when when the oranges first start kind of coming out, we are able to jump up there and grab the oranges and take them home and have a nice juicy treat. And we got some really nice restaurants over here. You can see over here is Bistro Chick coming up here, and Bistro Chick is a nice French restaurant. Personally, not a big fan of French food, but apparently this place is very popular, and they have a very nice wine selection. I do like baguettes. Pretty much the only French food I like. Today, instead of doing a normal spiel about the best gem on the crypto market, I decided to go ahead and take a little bit of time and relax. I live pretty close to Toko Tower. It's a really nice place to live, lots of friendly people, lots of great food. Inflation hasn't hit Tokyo quite so hard as it's hit, I think, the US. And since we ride the trains mostly or walk, we don't have to worry about gas prices so much. So it's pretty nice to live out here. I have to say Japan has some of the best ice cream and sweets I've ever seen on the planet. I don't know what they do, how they make the ice cream and the gummies and everything so delicious, but it's definitely the place you want to come if you want to, you know, get fat. And then also you get to walk everywhere, so you kind of burn the fat off as you're as you're living life. So it's really great combination. Plus in the summer you kind of sweat it out a bit too. So right now it's actually spring here. You can see the right after the sakura blossoms kind of went ahead and came and left. It's only like a 1-week process. I'd like to show you guys, hopefully sometime, the sakura blossom season. It is one of the most beautiful times of year. So currently it's a great temperature though. Sakura season, it's a kind of hit or miss if it's a hot or cold day, but right after sakura season it tends to be extremely, you know, mild temperature and clear skies. So yep, that's what we got here today. That's why you see such a great view of Toko Tower. Today I actually want to talk a bit on Everscale Governance and sub-governance. As you all know, I've kind of been in the Tezos ecosystem a while, and I don't really like exactly how the governance process is going right now. I'm not going to go into that right now, but having very limited choices as to where funds get put, as well as spending and overspending. I'd really like to have a more community-led system, which is why I got interested in Everscale. They have a sub-governance process set up where they have a giver contract, and people vote on proposals to go ahead and pay out developers, pay out community members for things going on, things that they contribute to the Everscale blockchain. So one of the really exciting parts about the sub-governance process for me, I thought, was the sub-governance process of formal verification. Now, if you don't know what formal verification is, I try to kind of ask the team, you know, what is a very simplified way to put formal verification, but it's not that. But to be honest, it's not a very simple process. It's actually very complicated, and it basically is a process of testing code to see if there's any bugs, if there's any vulnerabilities. It is a process you can use to test smart contracts and just test normal code as well. With the Everscale sub-governance system, they have a sort of team, a sort of, we call it like a sub-government in a way, of different people from some of the different companies working for Everscale, some of the different alliance members, and they have bounties put out so that if you're the one to go ahead and create the proposals for the best formal verification method, or if you find bugs, or if you find fixes, and all sorts of things like that, if you go ahead and contribute that and people vote and see who should be paid out from the giver contract for going ahead and finding the solution to the problem. And from what I can tell, this formal verification process on Everscale has actually been one of the most successful forms of sub-governance. At least that group said so. But I think that's a very, very important aspect of community building, is going ahead and building these sub-governance processes so community members can go ahead and align with the companies, because the companies are actually building things for the end users. It's very important to get feedback from the end users and put out these bounties so that you can create a better user interface for people, and that the best product, the most used product will get chosen when it's being implemented. So for example, you won't have some sort of blockchain function, you won't have something added to the blockchain that's completely useless and waste millions of dollars of the DeFi Alliance or the foundation's money, because everyone voted on it. It is a feature that everyone is going to use, and therefore if it passes, it's bound to be successful, or it's much more likely to be successful if they have this sub-governance voting process. Now, there's other sub-governance voting processes for marketing efforts. I saw one for like an African channel to create African content to go ahead and get more African users. I know that Everscale is very focused on getting and attracting users that don't have access to a very strong currency where they're from. So that's why probably one of the big targets is Africa. And so if you read the white paper, there's several references to this about talking about how to try to get people from the smaller economies that don't have access to very strong currencies to go ahead and get into blockchain so that they can protect their generational wealth, right? They can protect the wealth that they build rather than having it destroyed. And something on top of that was also written in the white paper was like a quote from John Adams, talking about basically you as a person, you can lose all of your wealth and you can always gain it back somehow. You can rebuild it. However, certain policies, when policies are put in place that reduce your freedom, those policies, those laws, it's very hard to go ahead and change those laws to get your freedom back. So you need to be very vigilant in the laws that you pass and the laws that you vote for. If you don't like something, even though it's against the public majority, you need to talk about it and raise awareness, because you could have a point. And there could be other people that agree with you but are just too afraid to say something. So I believe that the sub-governance process that Everscale has set up is something that can kind of help facilitate this communication across different community members and different businesses that are running in a blockchain. That's kind of how I connected all the pieces together and why I jumped into the Everscale blockchain. And besides the fact that it's really cool being able to work with people and talk to people from different places around the world. I've talked to people from, I think, like 5 different countries in Europe so far. I've talked to some people in China. So currently, I don't know anybody in Japan that's into Everscale. I'm going to try and get some of my friends into it, maybe get them to check out the new Everscale dApps, because it's really cool how you can just send to people using the Surf app, how you can stake really easily from the Surf app. It's all very, very user-friendly, and it just encourages anybody to go ahead and get involved and check out their ecosystem. This is Toko Tower. I did want to go ahead and show you guys my favorite ice cream spot. However, I looked it up on my phone just now, and it looks like they are actually closed today, sadly. So I'll just go ahead and walk home a little bit, show you guys around. And yeah, here's actually a temple that's right next to Toko Tower. You can see, looks pretty cool. I don't think it's a house, it's definitely a temple. There's no houses built like this anymore that are actually maintained that I've seen, at least downtown. Parks in Japan are a bit crappy, so this is a park here. A lot of times I just have places to sit and it's just a gravel floor, and there's not much play equipment. However, in the area I live around in Azerbaijan, they do have some nice parks because it's kind of a western area. They have more slides and more toys for kids to play on, so that's one reason I live in the downtown area. It's just because these parks are much nicer, I think. Also, you can see the streets in Tokyo are much cleaner than a lot of places in the U.S. where I'm from. It's not very good. Yeah, I think the view from Toko Tower right here is really nice too. You guys can see that. Yeah, so the street up here you can see is Nihonbashi in Roppongi. Up there is Roppongi. It has a really it used to have a really nice nightlife. Lately, it's kind of dead because of Corona, but I'm doubting it's going to ever be a party life. And again, there's a big company that's taking over the whole area and making it into a business area. So it's going to be kind of boring, but I guess it's time for the world to mature a bit and focus on the family life, right? This is Marietz. This is actually a supermarket. It's pretty nice. It's got like mediocre quality food. I think it's not one of the top supermarkets I go to. If you guys have any opinions of what you think blockchain governance should be like, what are the different aspects of governance? The actual Tezos governance that they have in place is very nice for the on-chain governance. However, I believe that the treasury is very centralized, which means that there's only specific teams that will be getting funding. So it's very hard to have competition. It's hard to have different teams competing with each other to go ahead and create a better product. Whereas what I've seen on Everscale is that they have multiple teams and they all work together, just like the sub-governance for Broxus and some of the other companies that are working on the sub-governance process for formal verification. They're actually kind of competitors. I think there's a Eversurf application that also does a really nice app for the iPhone, and it's really, and then Broxus does their own Everscale app, which is amazing. It's like so much better than MetaMask app they have for iPhone. But it's really great to see this competition, but at the same time, this cohesiveness, this teamwork of people working together to make sure that there's no vulnerabilities and so that their end users are safe and that their funds are safe. I want like a governance that has checks and balances and that promotes friendly competition. Just so you know, if you guys visit Tokyo, go to My Basket if you're getting Asahi beer. Do not buy vegetables there. They're not very good. What's up, guys? I have made it to Toko Tower. Check it out, guys. So yeah, I'm very, very excited to see where the Everscale blockchain goes. Hopefully the rest of the crypto market does not go to crap, but I do believe there are some bridges being built from Everscale to Tezos soon, so all the Tezos fans out there will be able to go ahead and check out the Broxus suite of apps as well as some of the other amazing dApps that are being built on Everscale. Again, if you have any comments, feel free to leave a comment below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
Bro, we need to pump it. Everybody, go to Twitter and hashtag the things, pump it, pump it real good. We need a good pump. Everybody deserves a nice Tezos pump.